Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Strike 2.0. It is what it is. It is what it is. Good morning, everyone. Hello, Nietzsche, Thrifting with ADHD, IBCC Shop Dave from Alberta. Let's get wild, thrift. Good morning, Shop with Jackie. Good morning. Hi, IBCC Shop. How are you? Ella, good morning. Feed Kindly, good morning. Zencat, Truly Phoenix, Nietzsche's in the house. Thrift Life Cam, Sleek Styles, good morning. Mitch Vamp, good morning. I'm going to have to eat chocolate insects. Yes, thanks for reminding me, IBCC Shop. I don't know where I put them, so I'll have to eat 2 tomorrow. Because, oh, hey, snakes and ladders. I love it. Hello, Rachel. How are you? Welcome to the shit show. Donna, good morning. Good morning. MHZS. You'll have to tell me how to say that. Good morning. Good morning. Pay Tribute. Good morning. Jose Canada. Good morning. Jespian. Good morning. Okay, so I'm wearing my Canadian tuxedo or dinner jacket. Megahertz. Oh, I love it. Megahertz. I'll remember that. Megahertz 101. Good morning. To stream or not to stream? That is the question. And we will be talking about that. Malachi's Madhouse. Good morning. Yeah, I know, Rachel. I'm sorry. Yes. F it all. How about that, Malachi? Just F everything. Yes, sorry. I'll catch up on everything, I promise. There's probably shite tons of questions. Pay tribute, we don't know for sure. So hang on. I'm going to take my pill because who are all the, we haven't had door delivery in 20 years. 77% of Canadian households do not get door-to-door delivery anymore. Interesting fact. I didn't know that. I thought I've always, yeah, I know. I wish it was a stress pill, but I got distracted by trying to do the PowerPoint presentation for you all, and I forgot to take my morning pill. So I'm like 2 hours behind. You still have a mailbox at the end of your driveway? We don't. I Spy Vintage, Retro City Collectibles, good morning. Hi, everyone. Welcome in. My name's Kim. If you're new to me, I do chat shows almost every single morning. And usually we talk about, like, how to whatnot and shipping questions in general, or like different ways that you can auction and how to engage with your audience and, all that kind of stuff. Oh, Snake, that's a good idea. Turn your mailbox into a flower bed or pot. Or like start a little Valentine's thing in your neighborhood where you drop off little like love letters to each other throughout the year and they become like Valentines. Oh, thank you, Megahertz. Yes. All this information is free. Yeah. So let's dig into it. So, and I'll try to answer all of your questions. I'm going to just do the PowerPoint and then I'll try to answer all your questions. I am only on until 11:15 because tomorrow is my live in-person auction. Rachel, F me again. I can't stand this. I can't wait for this video. It just takes up so much of my time. So much energy, so little result. Well, anyways, so I need to do that. So I need to set up for tomorrow's live auction. And so I have a staff person helping me. I know, totally retro. And so I have a staff person who's helping me and we need to start at 11:30. So thankfully, you need flyers for your booth. Oh yeah, that's right. That's okay. I'm almost done. Seriously, I'm almost done. Okay, hang on. Let me just go rotate camera. This is going to be fun because I have to readjust. So everyone hold on. Readjust here. I got to stick something fancy in here. I know, 2.0. Strike 2.0. Hang on. All right, I had all these little pieces of paper in here to make this fit just perfectly so I could still... yeah. Okay, so welcome to Fork Me. Strike 2.0. Don't actually fork me. Okay, welcome to Strike 2.0. Here we go. Everyone can see that okay? Good morning, Donna. I shouldn't say good morning, just morning, like you said. Nope, that's not going to work. Hang on. Hang on. This is high tech, y'all. I'm literally taking a box of like scratch and smell stickers and squishing the box. Technical challenges. Technical challenges this morning because I don't have my usual setup. Okay, here we go. My cards. All right, so welcome to Strike 2.0. Come on, machine. Wakey, wakey. Down you go. Ooh, duration unknown. Okay, so let's first talk about this whole duration thing, because I think that's really important for a lot of you all to understand. Face cam. There we are. Hello. Okay, so duration unknown. So how long is this strike going to go on for? It all really, it's going to depend on the federal government more than on the union. So if you recall, not so long ago, the Air Canada stewards, flight attendants. That's what they're called now. Sorry, flight attendants. I'm old. I have trouble. The Air Canada flight attendants went on strike because it turns out that they don't get paid for their time when they're setting up and welcoming you on board, and afterwards when they're like cleaning up and stuff. Like, I totally understand now why they, like, as soon as they can, they like leave the plane. I always wondered why they like escape the plane so quickly, and it turns out it's because they're not getting paid anyways. So what do they care? So they went on strike, and the government ordered them back to work, and they put a middle finger, or if you're from England, they showed them two fingers and said, no, we're not going back to work. We refuse to acknowledge your order to go back to work. And they did not go back to work, and the government and Air Canada capitulated. So I have a feeling that Cup W thinks they can do the same thing, where they can literally, say, no, the government says you have to go back to work, and they say, no, we're staying on strike because of 50 million reasons. Now, first and foremost, so August 1st was when the final vote was counted, and it was almost 70% of Cup W members of these particular there's two unions involved in this particular strike, which is 55,000 workers. These 55,000 workers, almost 70% of them voted in favor of, or not in favor of, accepting the Canada Post offer. Now, Canada Post was supposed to come back to the bargaining table, and they did, but they delayed for as long as possible. And then Cup W gave them an alternative proposal, and they delayed in their response, saying sometime this week they were going to give Canada, Cup W, a response. Well, clearly they knew what was going on with what the government was about to do. The minister met with the union on last Friday and didn't make any comments on any of the suggestions that the union had. This is based on the Kaplan report, which came out on May 15th. So it's just a hot mess, and it feels like the government, that Canada Post knew that the government was going to do this, right? It is starting to get hot in here. I'm going to have to take off my sweater in a second. Hang on. Sherry Wynn, did I already talk about shipping options? Not yet. We haven't gotten there yet. We're still on, like, how long is this going to last for? So the duration is unknown. The government could order them back to work, but then the union could try and pull an Air Canada flight attendants thing and say, no, we're not going to go back to work until this is resolved. At some point, if they refuse to come back to work and they're mandated to come back to work, there's probably going to be some sort of legislation that gets put in place. Malachi, you did not have to tip me. Thank you so much. There may be some legislation, I should say, that could be put in place to say, look, this contract's been over, like, because they're running off of a contract that's like expired multiple years ago, right? So let's just face it. Any other company, it would be like, well, like, we can't come to an agreement, we're just gonna have to, like, scrap it and start over. So what's gonna happen? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So duration could be unknown. It could be that like today they go back to work, or it could be another 2 months before they go back to work. I don't want that. None of us want that. Or it could be they never go back to work and Canada Post hires gig entrepreneurs to start delivering the mail. It's like stamp pickers. Hey, Corey, stamp pickers says we aren't going back today. That's for sure. I agree. Definitely not today. It's fascinating. This is so fascinating. Okay. Okay. Where are we? So next page. There's Corey Stamp Pickers. Everybody follow Corey Stamp Pickers. Not only does he know stamps, but he also knows the postal system from the inside. Okay, so good morning, everybody. Let's carry on. So, can you still sell on Whatnot? So, yes, keep selling on Whatnot, but not today. I would suggest you hold your horses. I'm only saying this because I haven't seen, and maybe I checked before I went live if there was an email from Whatnot yet, but we don't have confirmation of what Whatnot's going to do for sure. Because I mean, there's been a few changes with UPS being brought in and everything else. Can someone tell Drip Locker to just come into the room, please, on Discord? Because I don't want to answer these questions one at a time on Discord. I love answering on Discord, but like, seriously. Thank you. Okay, so Whatnot's plan previously was that they would activate again, bring your own label, which we had last time there was a stupid strike. So they will find a way for us to keep selling. Now, if you're a buyer on Whatnot from outside of of Canada, so if you buy from US or UK or whatever, your shipments are going to get stuck in transit. That's just the reality. So let's just keep going here. So I need you today. I'm going to move this. Hang on. I need to move myself. There we go. I need you today to watch your email. Thanks, Lorena. Thank you. Thank you. Watch your email for information from Whatnot. Read all of it. Like, read all of the message. Don't come to me tomorrow and start asking questions that are in the email, because I'm just going to say, you didn't read the email, did you? And that's what you will get. Thank you, Dave, also. So read all of it. Read it twice, and then click on the links and read that stuff too, okay? Read all the information that they give you. So don't, and if you use Gmail, it might be that your message from them is going to be in your unimportant mail, because you get, if you are like me, you get a lot of like notifications and stuff from Whatnot on other things, and so these actual important interesting messages from Whatnot get buried because Gmail thinks that it's unimportant because you get too much of it and you don't open it all, unless you go ahead and open it all, which I don't. So check, search, go into your Gmail and search for Whatnot every couple of hours until you see that email. Also check our Discord, because when the email comes out, I will put it on the Whatnot updates and we'll link to it so that you can read it there too, in case for some reason you don't see it. Okay, enough with this stupid dinner jacket. I'm done. All right. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, so read the email when you get it. Next. The option likely is that Whatnot will bring your own label, and I will explain how you do that based on how we did it last time. And last time it was just UPS and FedEx. I don't expect that to change. And Forget Me Not Vintage, yeah, we could take over-unders on when we think that how long this is going to last. I think it's going to be at least a month. But that's just me, and I've been wrong many times before. So there you go. Okay, so find a shipping company. Do your research now. Thank you, Eastender. do your research now and find a shipping company. Do not, under any circumstances, unless you are a big seller on other platforms and you use FedEx or UPS on a regular basis and you have a like super corporate account, do not magically, good morning, or not good morning, just morning. Do not buy direct off of ups.com or fedex.com. You will get hosed, as we say in Canada. You will get hosed, eh? They'll hose you. So what you want to do is look for other alternatives. You can use this thing called Google. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's google.com, a G and then two O's and then a G and then le.com. And you want to put in shipping and then the town that you live in. Okay, and then it's going to come up with a whole bunch of responses. Now, last time around, I know, Google, what is that? Last time around, freightcom.com gave the best rates for most people in most parts of Canada, especially on Vancouver Island, for those of you on Van Island. Also, Macool, which is spelled like school, but MACHOOL.com. Macool was also another contender. You don't want to just use any old company that is doing regular shipping. It has to be UPS or FedEx, not any other system, okay? UPS or FedEx. If you can't use ShipChats, then you'll get to bring your own label. Whatnot will then credit you the money that your buyer paid them for shipping, which is not going to be the same amount as what you are going to pay UPS or FedEx for the shipping. So there's going to be a difference in cost, and that is going to be your expense. Don't come at me. Don't come at Whatnot. It is what it is. So what happened last time, because we've been through this before, is what a lot of Whatnot sellers did is that they increased their per item start bid or their buy it now price by $1 or $2 to offset the cost. Sometimes you're going to be in the plus and sometimes you're going to be in the negative. But this was the best solution that most sellers, and especially bigger sellers, had for avoiding high shipping costs for them. So add a couple of dollars to each one of your items. Yes, are you going to have slightly lower sales because of that? Yeah, but do you want to start something low and lose that money, or do you want to make up that money? Drip Locker, I already answered that on the Discord. Yes, you need to message them. So any difference in cost is your expense. So make sure that you do your research. Now, how do you bring your own label? So when you go on, once they have this activated, you would go on to the Whatnot website, seller.whatnot.com. Okay, seller.whatnot.com. And there's going to be a section that when you go to your shipments, and it'll say generate label. Under it, probably the generate label button, if you don't have chit-chat selected, will be blanked out or not even there, and it will just say enter a tracking code. But it'll probably have, because of the fact that some people use chit-chats, and there's also the UPS to the United States activated, there will be a generate label button that looks like that blue submit button. And then underneath will be a link that says enter your own tracking code. And that's what you want to click. And then, as you can see, you enter the tracking code, and then you select your carrier, either UPS or FedEx, nothing in between. And then you hit submit, and it will say, are you sure? Let me just zoom. Are you sure you want to submit this tracking code? And then you hit confirm. Okay, zoom back out. And then 7 days, unless you have instant payout, 7 days after you have entered that tracking code information, you will see on your account ledger the amount of money for your shipment, as well as a second line, which will be called shipping subsidy, which is the amount of money that the buyer paid whatnot for shipping. So let me see if I can zoom in on that. Let me see if I can do it on here. There we go. So as you can see, this was back in November. Deja vu all over again. So there's the earnings from the item and the shipping subsidy, and the earnings from the item and the shipping subsidy. So those are two items. Bring your own label isn't activated yet, Melody. Watch your email for a message from whatnot. Hang on. Sorry, everybody. Close up of me. Okay. So next up, Chit Chats is an option for you. Now, you can switch to Chit Chats right now. And then you can generate labels with Chit Chats. However, don't just generate labels with Chit Chats until you've done your research. Can you actually get your packages to a Chit Chats location? Here's an example of Quebec. That map shows you the only places in Quebec where there are Chit Chats drop-offs, which is Montreal, or Montreal. So make sure that you go to chitchats.com, look at their locations, and see if they have a location that's near you and convenient enough. They do have options for delivering to Chit Chats with a consolidated shipment. However, I'm still waiting to find out information about the batching of that, because they require you to create a batch label, and we don't have that ability in Whatnot to do that. And I don't know if we would have that availability to do that using the Chit Chats app. So I'm waiting to hear that information. If that's a possibility, then that would be helpful for a lot of people, but you would still be paying a third-party shipper to ship to a Chit Chats hub, which, for example, if you live in the Maritimes, would be Nova Scotia. Oh, there you go. Nino and Skylar says, call Chit Chats and they will do up a batch label for you. Interesting. And then they email it to you. That would be interesting if that was the case. So I'm just going to try and catch up for a second. I'm just going to finish all this and then I will catch up with your questions. That's probably easier because it's probably going to be down in here. So make sure you do your research before you select Chit Chats. Now, you don't need to worry about Chit Chats restrictions on what you can ship in their packages to go across the border, because you'll still be using UPS to deliver packages from Canada to the United States. That a label will automatically be generated if your packages are going to the US through UPS. Through Whatnot system, you will not have to do your own label for US bound packages, only for Canada bound packages and packages bound for other countries outside of the US and Canada. Okay. Please hold. So here are some of the questions that I've already seen and tried to answer. So what if I have packages stuck in transit, either as a buyer or a seller? If they are currently being in the Canada Post system, they have been secured and they will be held in that secure location, the last warehouse that they arrived in. They will be held in that secure location until the strike is over, and then as quickly as possible, those packages will continue to flow through the system and to their destination. So if you have shipped out in the last little while, and I have it in my show notes, and you can see that your packages haven't arrived at their destination through Canada Post to your buyer, message your buyer today and say, just want to let you know, Canada Post did a sudden strike. Like, they literally yesterday afternoon were like, nope, effective immediately, we're walking off the job. And they had their workers just put everything down, grab their stuff, and leave the building. So there was no 72 hours notice like we've had before. So we didn't have notice that the government was going to say exactly what it said. We all had an inkling, but we did not know that the union would respond this quickly. with such immediate effect. Okay, so just message your buyers and let them know that it's stuck. If it is coming, if you bought something from another country, it's going to get stuck at the border. If it didn't cross over into Canada yet, it will get stuck at the border. And yes, Whatnot is going to have to turn off buying for Canadians outside of Canada, because they can't initiate bring your own label for the rest of the world, just for our small little group of Canadian buyers. Okay, so we are going to get they're going to have to turn off again. They did it before. They did it really late before. They need to do it earlier this time. Hint, hint. Because it cost them a lot of money last time because they had to do a lot of refunds. They're going to have to halt Canadians from buying outside of Canada while this strike is going on. People have asked, I just did a show. What do I do? I suggest you wait. If you can't switch to chit chats, I suggest you wait to see what the email says from Whatnot about bring your own label. And in the meantime, I need you to go and start doing your research on that thing called Google that I talked about to find the best shipping company solution for you. Sign up for all of them so you can compare rates when it's time. If it's a company that requires you to pay a subscription in order to use their services, move on. Trust me, they're not saving you any money. Move on. Don't sign up for some subscription for some cost-saving benefits of shipping. Freightcom.com and McCool and a whole bunch of others are great options. You want to make sure that they have UPS and FedEx as options, okay? If you have already printed out labels and they are Canada Post labels and you can switch to chit chats, message Whatnot support with the shipment numbers and the usernames associated with each shipment number. Don't just say, hey, I got a bunch of labels, can you switch them? Tell them which labels exactly, the shipment number and the username, so they make sure they're doing that, because they're going to turn around and ask you that question. So you might as well give them the information ahead of time. So message them. You can, and the information on how to contact Whatnot is in my show notes. Scroll all the way down till you see the line of fire. It's just below the line of fire. Okay. Message Whatnot. Shipment number, username for each single shipment that you need to have Chit Chats labels made instead of Canada Post labels. Make sure that you switch. Go into your seller settings in shipping. So go to your seller hub, which is on your phone, or you're going to confirm that that's what you want to do, is switch to Chit Chats. You may be able to go in and regenerate the label yourself. Try that first. If it doesn't work, if you still get a Canada Post label when you hit regenerate, then message Whatnot with, again, shipment number, username for each one, so that they can generate a Chit Chats label for you. Now, what if you have Chit Chats? So Chit Chats uses when there isn't a strike, Chit Chat uses Canada Post for final mile delivery. If you have packages in the Chit Chat system that have Canada Post final mile delivery and they haven't been delivered yet, then those packages are in a secure Canada Post location if they've been passed on to Canada Post already. If they're in Canada Post, they're stuck there until the strike is over. If they're within Chit Chats will redirect them using one of their other providers. So if it's at Chit Chats with a Canada Post label, they will fix that and switch it over themselves. They'll do that for you, okay? If when you're generating labels now, if you see that a Chit Chats label accidentally gets printed or generated with a Canada Post label on it, message support with the shipment number and the username so that they can contact Chit Chats to fix that. Okay. Now, the other question is, what if I don't have Chit Chats or UPS or FedEx near me? Then one of the things that you can do is you can look at one for UPS and FedEx. They do local pickup, especially UPS. UPS trucks may not have a drop-off location close by, but they do drive by your area, most areas, not everybody, but most areas on a regular basis. And you may be able to organize free local pickup or very low cost local pickup. I think FedEx with McCool was costing me $1 a package to have it picked up at my house instead of me having to go out, which, by the way, in the middle of winter, I really loved. When it got really snowy, all I had to do was make sure I had the area safe for the UPS truck to come and pick up the stuff. But you can, for the FedEx guy. So if you don't have a drop-off location near you, you could contact UPS to see if there is a pickup location near you. And yes, there is a way to actually talk to a human being at UPS about that. With Chit Chats, they do have consolidated shipping. Again, there's a batch code. Someone has said that you can contact Chit Chats and they can create a batch label for you. So that could be an option for you. It's all about getting your own ducks in a row and doing your own research, because I can't tell you based on where you live what the answer is, and it all depends too on your budget, what kind of size boxes you have, how often you do whatnot. You may want to, so say your Chit Chats location or your UPS drop-off location or your FedEx drop-off location, or the frequency that UPS is in your area to do a local pickup for you is such that they pick up on Wednesdays, or it's going to make your life easier with what you do if you can drive into the town where the Chit Chats is, once a week. Then batch your shows so that you're not driving 3 times a week into a city. If you're far away from a city, batch your shows so that you do 3 shows in a row, and then you ship and you drive and you drop off, and then you do 3 shows in a row. Is it going to affect your ship times? Absolutely. But you're still going to be able to do shows and sell. And your ship times will adjust after the strike is over and you go back to your regular ability to ship and you're able to ship next day. Your ship times will adjust with that. It used to be that you had bad ship times and that was an automatic, you're suspended off of whatnot. It's not like that anymore. What they do is just show the buyer your average ship time, and that's to try and shame you into doing better, or at least to warn your buyers that, this person doesn't ship in quickly. So that's my recommendation on that. Okay. And a reminder, Canada to US packages will still go via UPS. No matter what, they're going to go via UPS, whether you use Chit Chats or not. And these are some of the questions that I'm still waiting for answers, and they may be in the email that we receive from Whatnot, which I expect will be later on today if it hasn't already just gone out, which will explain what our options are. Are we able to use UPS? Are we able to use FedEx? Do we have to use bring your own label, or are they going to integrate UPS into the Canadian system completely so that it will just automatically either be Chit Chats or UPS while this strike is going on? How do we create a batch label in Chit Chats for Whatnot labels? I'm going to find out from Whatnot what the official line is, but you can always call Chit Chats to see if they'll do it for you at a local location. I don't know. Those are the questions that I currently have with Whatnot that I'm waiting for answers. So that's my PowerPoint. Hang on, let me just scroll back. Please hold. We're going backwards for a second, and then I'm going to look at all your questions and try and catch up with everything. How do I do page up instead? Dear Lord, this is taking forever. I didn't realize I had such a long slide. Oh, screw it. Okay, you know what? Let's just go to face cam off, rotate camera. Did we manage to do it? Yes. Okay, perfect. All right, here we go. Let me just lift you guys up for a second. There we go. Hi, everybody. Okay. So let me just catch up here. I'm going to scroll back up and see what I can find. I'm going to go way up. So, and I'm only going to look at things that were, all right. Okay, so I will be eating chocolate insects, but not today because I wasn't prepared for this strike and I put them somewhere safe and I can't find where that is. But that was part of the deal, is I would eat chocolate covered insects. We don't know yet if a pay tribute, if they will switch us to UPS. I'm hoping that they will. That will make life a little bit easier because it will be automatically in the system. Megahertz, you're very sweet. Between tariffs and I think so. Just so you know, one of Whatnot's founders is Canadian, and so they're not going to abandon us. They haven't abandoned us so far. They might. They have a staff, like they have a Canadian staff person, and they care about Canada. They want to grow Canada. They're working on that. They've been spending money on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook ads. They've been trying to get into each one of the markets one by one. So there's like, they're not going to abandon us because of this. They know this isn't our fault, and we need to know that they're not that fault. Okay, so Malachi, I think I answered that. Chit Chats does use Canada Post for final mile delivery, but they do have alternative options, so they will be switching to those alternative options. That's what they did the last time. That's what they did in May when they thought there was, we all thought there was going to be a strike. And Shop with Tasha asked, with Chit Chats, doesn't one of their services have issues shipping to unit apartment numbers? There will be an issue for all of them with shipping to anywhere where there's a post box. So in a lot of apartment buildings, there's a postal box. So it may be that they have to leave like a notification to arrange for a drop off, or they may be just dropping off. Like Amazon used to do at my mom's condo building. They would literally just manage to get themselves in the door, and then they would just drop off packages at right outside people's doors, which, you know, I guess it's not porch pirates, I guess it's hallway pirates, but it's a risk that has to be taken. Connecting Era says, will there be a reduction in the commission from Whatnot on Whatnot fees? I'm told it was done before. No, not sorry, I didn't cover that, but yes. So currently Whatnot has we still are in a reduced fees structure right now. So last time Whatnot reduced the commission during the last strike from 8% to 2%. And then when they switched us to Canadian dollar selling, it was supposed to be from like April until June, we were going to, they gave us 4% reduced commission. And then in May, the strike was possibly going to happen, so they extended that. And then the tariffs came the tariffs got worse, and so they extended it again. And that was supposed to end September 7th, but then the de minimis exemption was removed, so they extended it again till October 7th. So I suspect that Whatnot will be sweet and kind, because they're amazing human beings, and they will extend that 4%. I don't think they'll take us down to 2%. They might, but I think if they can do if they can set up UPS for us within the Whatnot system, where our buyers pay Whatnot for the label, and so we are probably not going to have many issues. Although don't forget, shipping adjustments, you would have to pay if there was shipping adjustments. So then yes, you would want to up your weight, and we'll talk about that once I know more. Then I can give you more clear recommendations, and you can take what you like and leave the rest. So I think that Whatnot will probably extend the the reduction in commission for another month or so, hoping that maybe by like November 7th, this will all be over. I suspect that that's what's going to happen. Magnus by Marika, what, just so you know, Whatnot is often in my shows. Whatnot staff are often in my shows on a regular basis because I get little comments, little things said. So I know they're in here, but they're not gonna they usually don't come in and chat. Whatnot Louise, who used to be on the head of the Canadian team, he used to come in here on a regular basis to answer questions as need be. So we may see that again, but as of right now, they're staying incognito, but they're listening. That's why that's why everybody, you'll hear me sometimes say, "Dear Whatnot, can you please do this?" Because sometimes they could be listening, and so it's best time for everyone to go, "Yeah, we agree." Am I muted? Oh, for fork's sakes, how muted am I? Am I still muted? Oh dear Lord, am I still muted? Or am I okay now? Sorry. I'm good. Okay. Whew. All right. I'm like, okay. Well, what, engraver of trees, you don't need to tip me, don't worry. But thank you to everybody who did tip. I love you guys so much. Everyone follow everyone who does tip. You guys are awesome. Freddie Miz, good morning. Conclusion is you need to switch to chit chats. If you can switch to chit chats, switch chit chats. And 2Dial TCG says, are smart drop labels an option if we switch to chit chats and drop off at a pure later location? I'm waiting to hear back from Whatnot on the answer to that. So, yeah. So I'm sorry if I've missed anything else you said. If you put a question mark at the end of it, then it goes yellow and I'll be able to see it. Then yeah, because I'm trying to just go to answer questions, and because the rest of it's gonna yes, we need the stamp category back. So ZenCat Vintage asks, will we blah, 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 I can speak English, honest. Will we be able to regenerate labels if we just printed some for Canada Post? No. If you can use chit chats, then what I need you to do is go into seller.whatnot.com, go to shipping, or go on your seller hub and go to the shipping section, and then I want you to select chit chats as your shipping provider and make sure you hit save or apply or whatever it says, so that it will definitely stick. Then go to seller.whatnot.com and regenerate one of the labels and see if it comes out as chit chats. Not in your area, you're on Vancouver Island. Okay, so if you haven't already gotten into the Discord, get into the Discord, because what happened last time, I don't know why my voice went up like that. What happened last time was that a few sellers worked together on Vancouver Island to batch their shipments together, so they all they all went to somebody's store and dropped off their packages, because they knew one person was going to be going. Every Thursday morning I go and I drop off packages at Chit Chat. So if you have packages that you need dropped off at Chit Chats, get them to me Wednesday afternoon between this time and this time, right? So go onto Discord and we can organize again the same way, so that if you're in an area where there are other sellers and someone's able to, like, if you can take turns driving there, or someone's always going to be going anyways because they're a big seller, we can work together to help each other out. And then there's also the option of batching your shipments together and dropping them off at a UPS drop-off location or a Chit Chats location. But we're still learning about how to do the batch labels. I'm going to get confirmation from Whatnot on that before I say for sure how to do it, but you can contact Chit Chats to see if they'll help you. Ella says, how will it work for last mile delivery through Chit Chat? So if normally it would have gone by Canada Post, they will use one of their other couriers to do the last mile delivery. That's what they did last time, and in May, when we thought there was going to be a strike. So Freddie Min says, if we already printed a label, can we switch it to Chit Chats? This is a givey question. Customer wanted me to hold on to it till my next show. So yes, again, you would need to go in and see if you can, after you've switched your to Chit Chats, again, only switch to Chit Chats if you can drop off at Chit Chats. Um, Switch to Chit Chats on your seller hub or at seller.whatnot.com under shipping, and then go in and see if you can take one of the labels and see if you can regenerate it. And when you regenerate, there'll be a little link that says regenerate or edit. And then if you hit edit, and then you can generate label again. You don't even have to change anything. Just hit edit and then hit generate label, and it should generate you a new label. And if it doesn't turn into a Chit Chats label, then message Whatnot support. If you go to my show notes, scroll all the way down until you see the line of fire. Just below that is how to select Chit Chats. Ella says, there's some people here are saying, though, that there might be fees for us to use those carriers that Chit Chat uses for last mileage. No, there wouldn't be any fees. So there'll be fees for batch. So if you have to take all of your shipments together because you don't live near a Chit Chat's drop-off location, and you take all of your shipments and you put them in one big box and ship them to a Chit Chat's hub, there will be a fee. There will be a fee that shipping company will charge you for delivering to Chit Chats. But Chit Chats is not going to charge us or there may be an increase in the price of the label in the future when someone goes to buy something on Whatnot, and the like if I'm using Chit Chats, there might see an increase in the price because Chit Chats may have to increase their prices, but they will be using another courier for final mile delivery, but they won't be charging us back. There won't be any back charges for anything that's already in the system. Stamp Pickers wants to know if anybody wants to buy face value stamps. So Drippalocker asks, since I printed already and sent Whatnot all the shipment IDs and usernames, will they probably have me just use UPS and reimburse? It depends. Can you use Chit Chats? I can't remember if you're able to use Chit Chats. Okay, I don't know what I'm missing out. So sorry, you're gonna have to put a question mark in it. Sorry, 4 hours away. Okay. Yeah. Hey Mimics. Okay, so you're 4 hours away. So you're 4 hours away from a Chit Chat's location. So then wait to see what Whatnot says. Whatnot might be integrating UPS into their system, and so then they'll just say we'll regenerate, and it will be a UPS label instead. I don't know. But do you have a UPS drop off near you? Or can you or have you done the research to contact UPS about local pickup? So that's your next step is to look into that. So yeah. So but we don't know yet. So just hold off. If you can't use Chit Chats and you've got labels already printed or labels already generated, or you're about to do your shipments from your show from yesterday, just hold off until you see that email from Whatnot. Because the email from Whatnot is going to have all the details and all the instructions and links to their FAQ and a whole bunch of other things. Okay. So, in here, UPS drop off is $3 plus taxes per pack. That's insane. Mimic says, I got UPS to pick up at a remote part of Thunder Bay. Yeah, you may be able to do UPS pickup. So look on the UPS.com website, and you can call them and ask them. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what they're able to do. Those little brown trucks are everywhere, and big brown trucks are everywhere. Okay, so I have about 15 minutes left, and then I need to wrap up and get moving because I have a live auction tomorrow. So tomorrow morning I will not be doing my show because I have an auction tomorrow, but I will come on Sunday to do another show. A pair of earrings, Mimic. Malachi's Madhouse, it's my live auction at the Hastings Antique Market, Twin Mills Antique Market in Hastings. 5 minutes away from me. So I just need to roll down the hill and get there. But I have to go pick up my staff person who helps me, the wonderful Mel. And it's the last Saturday of every month I do a live in-person auction. I have a lot of stuff to unpack. There's a lot of stuff to get through today. Mostly vintage decor and stuff. So if you're in the area, Saturday you have a local auction here. That's awesome. If you're in the area, come on down. There's going to be a lot of interesting things. Rachel, if you're still here, there's no jewelry. I know that. Sleek Style says, I want to do auctions. Auctions are fun. Auctions are fun to do. I don't do the bid calling. Oh, megahertz. Okay. Any glowy stuff? I haven't tested yet. I don't know. There might be a couple of glowy pieces left. Probably not. Probably not would be my guess. They do smell. There you go. Malachi's Madhouse is 10. Hey, adorned by Zartash. You missed. So the gist of it is to wait for the if you can switch to chit chat, switch to chit chats. If you have labels that have already been printed and you can switch to chit chats, then switch yourself to chit chats. Try regenerating them. If that doesn't work, message whatnot support. If you can't use chit chats, hold your horses and just wait to see the email from whatnot with information about how Bring Your Own Label is going to work. They may have an exciting opportunity for us. Who knows? Stamp Pickers asks, is there anyone here on the island, Vancouver Island, using chit chats? Stamp Pickers might want to coordinate with Vintiquity and see. I don't think she's on here right now. The trains do have to keep going, just with no mail on them. Absolute flipping deals. Thanks, Donna. I will see you tomorrow. Love you. Yeah. So and if you're on Vancouver Island or you're in an area like an area with no chit chats, you know what? I think we'll create a channel on the Discords, the unofficial Whatnot Canada Discord, where you can post where you are and see if there's other people who live where you are who might want to coordinate together. You'd have to coordinate shows together. You'd have to figure out when's the best time that if one person is willing to do the driving because they're going to anyways because they're a bigger seller, then you would have to work your shows around that person. They're not going to work their shows around you. You need to work your shows around the person who's going to be doing the driving. Okay, so last call for questions. And a reminder, join the Discord so that you can keep up to date on everything that's going on. Check your email. Read your email. I just saw that you joined, Marika. I saw it. It came up as a little notification. So welcome. So join the Discord so you can get up-to-date information and your questions answered. I will be back on, not tomorrow, but on Sunday. Sunday I will come back on. Because during the strike, once a day, I will be on every day, but not tomorrow. Yes, DM Cap City 613 if you want the Discord link. If the link doesn't work for you up there. Franny Mins asks, can we pay our American customers tariffs? No, not on Whatnot. Not on Whatnot. The only thing that we can suggest is the Crazy Bead Lady, Linda, what she did in her show recently, and she's going to be freaking out because I'm sure she sold a lot, is that she had coupons available for their first 4 purchases to kind of, or whatever she did, to help out. She is awesome, isn't she? Adorned by Zartash. She is awesome. So she did coupons to help offset the cost that UPS is charging, plus everything else being charged. Connecting Era says, searching with ADHD. Yes, Leah has been so helpful and gave me suggestions, and I will join the link for Discord that she gave me. Yay! Awesome. There's the Crazy Bead Lady. Hello, hon. I'm sure you're freaking out. It'll all be good. So if you can switch to chit chats, switch to chit chats. Kaysley says, I had a show last night. Labels are generated with Canada Post. What are your options here? Kaysley, are you able to use chit chats? If you're able to use chit chats, okay. So then what I need to do is just hold on. Just hold. Obviously you can't drop them off at Canada Post anyways. So hold on and wait for that email from Whatnot with instructions on what they have planned. I don't know for sure. They may not do bring your own label. They may just do chit chats or UPS. We're going to have to see. Yeah. And join our Discord, because there might be, if we can coordinate in certain areas where there are other sellers close to you, then you can coordinate that every like couple of like once or twice a week somebody drives to the local chit chats, because they're going to anyways, because they're a big seller and they want to get their stuff out. You can always coordinate so that you can drop off packages with them. And there's also the option that we're just waiting for instructions on that, to batch your shipments so that you batch them all and drop them off. So we're just waiting for updates from Whatnot. Connecting Era said, someone told me to cancel the order and then put the order in buy it now, and then make sure you are switched to chit chats and then tell your buyer. That is no. Connecting Era's no. Do not cancel. No one cancel orders. No one cancel orders. Under any circumstances should you cancel orders, unless it's like you drop the package and it's all broken, or you can't find the item. So you're just going to have to, if you can use chit chats, what I need you to do is go in to seller.whatnot.com or on your seller hub to shipping, switch your shipping provider to chit chats, hit save or apply, whatever it is, then go back in, edit that. There's a little edit thing, hit edit. Yeah, again, don't take advice from people on that's like, yeah, I when people say that, I'm just like, oh my God. Anyways, don't cancel orders. Canceling orders affects your rating on Whatnot, and doing too many cancellations can get you suspended, or like you'll be basically like blacklisted. So only people who follow you, who go into your show, like go into you. If a buyer wants to cancel, that does not affect you. If a buyer wants to cancel, that doesn't affect you, but if you cancel, it affects you. Yeah, and if you switch your shipping provider to chit chats, hit save, then go back to seller.whatnot.com, hit the edit button, hit save, and then generate label again. It should come up with a chit chats label. If for some reason it glitches and it does not, then message Whatnot support with the shipment number, and the username. Okay, if Sandpicker says, if Whatnot moves to UPS, might be a difference. Have to pay for it, but it's in the air right now. Cost of doing business. Exactly. It is. It hopefully, yeah, UPS is super expensive, but they don't strike. But if Whatnot has the same sort of deal, can get the same sort of deal that they have for their US shipments, then it shouldn't be a super high expense. It should be pretty good. Fingers crossed. But if that's the case, then I will be recommending that people up their weights higher, than unless they're doing custom shipping profiles. Yeah. So Stamp Pickers, best to hold off on labels from last night's show. Contact Antiquity to talk about coordinating something. Sorry, what did Bubba say? What did I miss? Bubba, if you can use chit chats but don't have a drop off location, the advice is wait for Whatnot. Yeah. So if you can't use chit chats, because the drop off location is too far away from you, then wait for Whatnot to you're going to get an email from Whatnot. Stamp Pickers, at one point she did, yes. And then she switched back. But then she also did coordination of UPS pickups and that sort of thing. So she's a smart cookie. Yes, for me, Sleek Styles, it's like 35-minute drive to get to Chit Chats. I'd rather use UPS because it's literally down the hill, right? I don't want to, if I don't have to, because when I tried Chit Chats during the beta, it was costing me $70 a week in gas alone to drop off at Chit Chats. So I wasn't making it up. I was losing money. So I switched back afterwards to Canada Post, but we weren't in a strike position. We weren't in strike. So if I need to drive 35 minutes, then I will do like 2 shows a week back to back when I'm actually able to sell. Because I'm still in vacation mode right now because I just have too much going on. I wish I was actually on vacation right now, but I'm not. Yeah, so fingers crossed. Okay, that you're welcome, Nino and Skylar, and it's nice to see you in here. I don't think I'm following you. Let me see. Follow. Look at that. Welcome to Whatnot. 33 things sold. Less than a day shipping. If I use UPS, who will pay the extra charge so if bring your own label is initiated and you use UPS and say the buyer paid Whatnot $14 for shipping, but it costs you $20, you pay the difference. Whatnot's only going to give you what the buyer paid Whatnot for shipping. And last time they calculated that based on the rates they already had in their system, which was different, right? The Whatnot's shipping was different last time around than it is this time. Yeah, so you're going to have to eat the cost. So what we did last time to offset that was we increased our start bids by $1 or $2. Yeah. So in some cases, I found that it was a wash. It was about the same amount. Sometimes it was way, way more. But it all kind of came out in the end. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on. Do I have enough time? I have enough time. All right. Hang on. We're going to grab the laptop and see if I can sign into Sheets on here. Because I did do Sheets, Google Sheets. No, switch me. Please hold. Positivity is the key. Yeah, I mean, there's so many. That's not what I want to do, Google. Lord Jesus, help me. Switch. This is the problem with having multiple. Disable offline. Please hold. Now, recent documents. Then I have to switch to Sheets and then see if I can find it. Australia shipping costs. Whatnot events, community host feedback, Bolo list. Oh dear Lord. Okay, must be in my other profile. Profiles. Hang on. So one of the things that we found last time around, oh, there it is. Canada Post strike rates comparison. Okay. So this is what, let me see, hopefully I can get this to work. Switch. Okay. I gotta readjust you guys here. Sorry, hang on. Everyone close your eyes so you can't see me messing around here. Okay. We're gonna adjust a bit. Okay, so obviously I live in Ontario. So this is this was from November and December of last year. So from Ontario to New Brunswick, I got quotes for everything. So there you go. FedEx packet. Now I didn't put down the size of the packages, but I was comparing rates. And so FedEx was $21.94 and UPS was $39.30. Let me just see here. And then you can see the difference in prices. So it was, for the most part, Purolator and, there's FedEx and UPS. There we go. FedEx and UPS. So FedEx was like $22.18 versus $17.83 for UPS. So most of the time, as you can see, UPS won out over FedEx. And I was using, most of the time I was using freightcom.com to get my labels. So the most expensive package that I sent out was to New Brunswick. I didn't keep track of every single package I did because it was getting a little bit much. But and I wrote down some, like Ontario to South Carolina was $17.05 Canadian. So that wouldn't be that much different than what Whatnot would charge currently for that shipment. But again, they're already going to be using UPS. So Whatnot's rates are about the same right now as they were back then. So if they do switch to UPS, I need to switch back here. Switch, talking to you. There we go. If they do switch to UPS, that would be awesome. And I think the rates wouldn't be, it would only be for like far off places, really remote locations where the price would go significantly up for buyers. But for the most part, it will be similar to what it is now with UPS. So there's hope if they switch to UPS. Okay. TMI, you guys. Holy cow, megahertz. Malachi. I'm kidding. Okay. So, last call for any questions. It's 11:06. I'm gonna look on Whatnot with my handy dandy laptop and see who we can raid into. The Crazy Bead Lady says, I have a show tonight at 7:30 selling beads, findings, and also earrings and bracelets, offering 20% off coupon to help adjust shipping. Please join her. So that's 20% off and that's to help with US buyers, especially. Whatnot.com. I'm going to have to, hopefully it's going to let me sign in easily. No, shoot, I signed in on the wrong person. Oh, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Log in. Log in home. Oops, I don't know what's going on. It's like internal browser issues. Blah de blah. Browse. Let's see. Oh, this isn't helpful. No, I'm going to sign out. It's easier to sign out. Okay. Marika starts in 3 minutes. Okay, I'll keep talking then. Thank you, Cap City. Yes, Yard Yeller, I am on YouTube right now. I am on YouTube, so you'll be able to watch this on YouTube. But basically, switch to Chit Chats if you can. If you have packages that are in transit within Canada Post, they will be stuck until the end. We are waiting for instructions from Whatnot, so please check your email. Yeah. So Megahertz says, I looked at my location in Ontario to Vancouver on the UPS page for a 10-pound item with a 10-inch by 10-inch by 10-inch box would be $43 Canadian. Yes. So that's why I say, do not buy labels from UPS.com or FedEx.com. You will get hosed. I Spy Vintage says, I work for UPS and do not see any days off in my future. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Malachi's Madhouse says, I've never used coupons, nor do I even know how to create them. What? Malachi, how often have you been in my shows? Oh my goodness. So you go to seller.whatnot.com. Then you want to go to the side. And on the side, it'll have promotion and marketing. It'll be like arrows up. You want to select that. And then the drop-down menu is going to be coupons. Create a coupon. Just follow the instructions to create a coupon. And coupons have been shown to increase your buyers by 50%. The more coupons you can use, the better. So Yard Yeller says, I just created labels last night with Canada Post. Yes. So what you need to do is go into your seller hub, go into the shipping section, switch to Chit Chats. If you can use Chit Chats, hit save or apply, whatever it is. And then I want you to go to seller.whatnot.com, go to shipments, select those shipments, hit the edit button, hit save, generate label, and it should generate a chit chats label. If it doesn't, message whatnot support. Hi, Shauna. I'm sorry, eh? This is just. Okay, yes, I want to sign in as me. Can I sign in as me, please? Thank you. I do have a second account, but okay. This is me. Magnets by Marika is on live now. So we are going to go raid into Magnets by Marika. I will be back. Oh my God, Malachi. I love you guys. I will be back on Sunday. So you can see me on Sunday again, and we will continue to talk about what's happening. Go and join the Discord. If you need the link, then send me a message to get the link. And magnets select. Yeah, we will figure it out. You need the link. So Sleek Styles, it is up in my show notes. So I will count to 5 so that you can go into the show notes and scroll, and you should see it after the news information. There'll be a section with the Discord, or just send me a direct message, or send a message to CapCity613, who is also one who gives out the links as well. Raid cover note. Yeah. Oh, Raid is covering the note. Dang it. Yeah. Send it. Yeah. Cap City's going to send you a DM. All right. Love you guys so much. Have an awesome day. Thank you for the tips. You guys need to do that. You're awesome. I will see you on Sunday, and watch your email from Whatnot and read that dang email. Don't come to the Discord asking a question that the answer is in that email. Seriously, I'm going to say, did you read the email? Here's a link to the email. Read the damn email again. All right. Love you guys. Let's go.